All right, we live? We live. Solo drill time. Coach David, my afternoon session. I already did, played this morning for about 2.5 hours. And then I'm gonna hit some balls. I wasn't quite happy with how I played, because I just practiced that roll drive today. And I didn't feel I had it till the very maybe last game. So I was wondering why I didn't have it. And then I think I figured out at the last game. So I'm here to just keep reestablishing the pattern, reestablishing the technique, and see if it works well. I've got my KU hat on. They're in the Big 12 tournament. They play at 4 today. So I got to get this done before then. All right, we ready? I'm just going to hit some balls with me and Sparta. My new Electrum paddle. You can contact Lila Rawlings, or I can get you her information to get a discount. Okay. Are we ready? Let me turn this around. It looks like audio is working. And then I'm just going to start hitting balls like I normally do. I'm going to just practice this roll. I think I figured out what's happening. So what I was doing this morning is I thought it was my grip, but it wasn't. It was more, I wasn't coming from underneath to outside to roll. I was coming underneath, but straight, and then trying to roll it, and it wasn't rolling, so I couldn't figure it out. But then I think I did. So underneath, outside to roll. And that gets it done. Okay, that's pretty good. Yep. Right now I'm just like I'm actually pretty exhausted because I think I've been doing three-a-day trainings for pretty much most of 30 days straight. Because I'm on this is day 13. Day 13, let's go. So I started day 45. And I'm just kind of wore down right now. But sometimes that's when you have to practice. Because if if it's one more game that I need to make one of these teams, or be able to get drafted, then I need to bring it, even if I'm tired. You got to bring it, that last game, all the way to the last point. It's like 78 degrees right now. 78, probably 12-mile-an-hour winds. And this place is pretty empty. I hear some beautiful sounds up there, which is pickleballs. And then there's a couple over there hitting back and forth. You can see a lot of the real beginner players are come out at this time. Because then I think they don't have to worry about anybody getting in their way. They can just practice on their own. That was another thing I felt I did today, is I felt I was standing up too straight and it wasn't working as well. I think I still won my games. No matter what, I still try to win. I practice winning. Plus, it's always easier to drop a ball and hit it because my setup's always perfect. When you play against other people, they're putting spin on it. They're bouncing the ball at different heights. Wonder if I can bounce it at a different height. Perfect shot. It's working right now. It's working. So let me do some serves. So here's what I'm noticing also is, now if you have a power forehand, which I'm developing, you serve from different parts of this court. Here's what I'm noticing. Because you want your forehand in play. So on this side, when I serve from this side, I want to serve more middle to the back third over here. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so when I serve from this court, the odd court, I want to serve about this area, middle of the court to a little on this side. That gives me quite a bit of distance back in that corner to hit a hard drive. So when I'm on this side, when I'm on the even court, I want to serve as close to this line as possible without, you can't hit the ball if a foot is touching. We got to extend this line. So if a foot's anywhere on this extended line, then it's a fault. So I want to get close. My back foot can actually be across this line because when I actually hit the ball, that foot is off the ground. So that's not a fault. It's whatever foot is on the ground counts. So that's pretty good. Because now, for me, if they hit it anywhere over here, my forehand's in play. So my partner's going to have the forehand from about here up, probably about this far out. Anything that's hit deep, to me, would be my backhand. And then I want to try to put it in front of my partner, even though I try to put it in front of myself. And there's a reason for that. If I feel I'm the better player, I want that ball in front of me. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. I don't quite feel I'm getting the power on it as I did yesterday. I don't know why. It could be because the balls are warmer. That makes a difference. Yeah, they just are not going. I don't know why. Okay, that's better. I kind of have to hook it like this. So inside to outside in a hook. I wasn't doing that today. So that could be it. Yeah, that makes it go faster. That's better. That's better. Yeah, that's pretty good. I did some lob surf today, got some airs. I love the lob serve. Man, lobster messes with people. There we go. There we go. All right, let's do some drops. I just want to get a couple buckets in today. So we'll do this behind me and then on the other side. I got the camera, the viewfinder on the back, so I have to kind of keep checking where I'm at. So make sure you hit the like button. I guess these aren't drops, these are more attacks. You know, I really wouldn't even, there isn't really a shot from here. You rarely get a shot from here that you're not just trying to defend. Yeah, because normally from here I would just reset. I wouldn't even, you hardly get a weak shot from here. It's usually an attack at the feet that you're defending. So I probably don't even need to practice that one. I would have to practice. So a shot from here, I'm just gonna reset. I'm gonna keep it in front of my body and reset. Yeah, that's what I would do from here. Just little rolls. It's pretty windy. Cross. And I pretty much always go in this corner. Because there's almost always a backhand over there. And if my partner's any good, they're gonna be right here to shut down this gap. And usually if I make it a neutral enough dink, it's unattackable. All they can do is defend it. All they can do is defend it. The only error is that something like that, where they can do an inside out behind my partner, which would burn my partner. So I really want to make sure it bounces in that neutral zone. Oh, this wind, man. Well, you got to practice in the wind. You got to play in the wind. Except in this combine I'm doing, it's all indoors. The chicken and pickles are indoors with outdoor surfaces. A chicken pickle, that's pretty good. See, these are good, these are good. So then I can just show this and then, come on, do something different. If I can get this person cheating over, then I would do that. Show that I'm going here because maybe I've hit this court, hit this shot a few times, and I've developed that pattern. So then I go out and then I just do something different. I show that one and do something different. That's a good trick shot. This is one, it comes this way, you show this, and then you go inside out. I got nailed on that a couple times. Thanks, Lauren. So you make it, you've dinked a couple times cross court like this. You dinked a couple times, and then you show the dink, and then you turn it over. Let me show it on the other side. Move this up. Okay, come on, come with me. Come with me, come with me, people. Okay, so let's pretend you're right here. All right, you're the defender there. Okay? So what happens is, you know, I've dinked this way quite a few times, right? I've dinked, I've showed this dink. I've dinked, I showed this dink, and you turn it. See that? Here, here. It's wicked, man. See if I can hit the camera. It's nice. I think who came up with this first was Cal Yates. So what Lauren did is so we're dinking, right? And then he put it right in my chest in front of me, where the guy I played against, who I first saw it in action, playing a 5-0 tournament with another pro here, Mark Malott, and then this guy Hatzenbeller, I think his name is Hatzenbeller. He did it first. He's here and there, and he would put it straight down that line, and he got us probably 3 times in a row, maybe 4 times. These are going way out. Yeah, that's it. So you show the backhand and you turn it. Let's do this. First, I mean, you got to set it up, maybe with a couple backhand dinks, and then you kind of slow play it, and boom, there you go. It's a deception. But once you see it a couple times, oh, then what we did to defeat that guy, Hetzenbeller, was to not give him that backhand dink, you know. We made him hit his forehand then, and he didn't. His shots weren't as good. So we ended up winning that one. We ended up winning silver in that tournament because unfortunately Mark had leg cramps really bad, and we were playing against Steve Cole, and for some reason I can't remember his name, but he's super good. He was a young pro, 5-0. Oh, that's not even close. Bury the shoulder, open it up. So, I mean, that's a shot too. You just hit this person. You bring it upper torso, because usually they're leaning in. They are not expecting a shot up at their torso. If you're really good, you'll figure out if they're backhand bias, and you'll put it on their right shoulder, right here, right there. But try to make it, if you miss the person, that it still doesn't go out. There's got to be a name for this. Hey, Kyle Yates, is there a name for this? Is there a name for your shot? It's a good one. So I don't know if there's a name for that or not, but it's a good shot. I wonder if I show the forehand, maybe we'll come up with something new. Maybe we'll come up with something new here. That's a good thing about hitting 1,000 balls, you know? You can experiment. Let's see. We'll let you see the whole thing. I got to be careful because it's breezy, and I don't want this camera to flip over. That happened to this screen just 2 weeks ago. It cost me $200. Okay, so when I do this, it's really windy, guys. You see, when I throw the ball, it's moving. So I got to be real careful. When I dink this way, I attach my right elbow and I just push it across. Attach the right elbow, push it across. I don't do anything fancy. Nothing fancy. I'm just because if I go too far, that's a forehand over there. They go around the post. So it's just here, and I'm just trying to keep it unattackable. Unattackable. I'll do that a lot too, that one. But that's not what, so the opposite shot would be this. Whoa, that's different. Hey, not bad. That's probably not getting anybody. It's not bad though. I mean, the problem is if I do this shot and I'm here and I'm not ready for the comeback, or I'm going to eat it. That's the problem with that shot. If I just do my regular dink, look at, I'm already back in my defensive position. So anytime you do something crazy, I'm not ready to defend. My philosophy is always be ready, ABR. So whatever shot I hit, I want to be back in my defensive spot, my neutral position. If I take shots out in front of me, I'm slow to get back. So I try to do it tight. So everything goes back to neutral, everything back to neutral. Now it's a little different. If I do these drives from back here, that still pretty much comes right back to neutral. Right back to neutral, look at that. That's how people say, well, David, your hands are so fast. But actually, I'm just fast getting back to neutral, and I'm able to defend. Back to neutral, back to neutral. I like that one too. Actually, I like it from this side. Because for me to go down the middle here, I'm crossing this guy's forehand. So a lot of times I can get people, yeah, that's what I do. Let's see. So when I dink with a purpose. I'm dinking to get a mismatch. I'm dinking to build a hole. That's what I'm doing. So let's see, we'll just put you right there. You good with that? Okay, let's see. Man, this thing. Oh boy. Hold on, I have an idea. Okay, so what I do is I wrap my towel around the base. I can't really show you. I guess I could take the camera off, but I don't want to. So I wrap my towel around the base of the tripod, and then I put a weight on it opposite. Well, let's show you just real quick. See that? So I put a weight opposite of where the wind's blowing, and the towel and the weight keeps it from falling over, basically. Okay, so what do we have now? Make sure you hit that like button. So I was going to show you how I go down the middle. So a lot of times, here's a play. So I'm setting up certain shots when I'm dinking. I'm not just dinking to dink. I don't just go, oh, I want to hit cross court, cross court, cross court. No, I'm hitting certain spots to try to create holes and mismatches. So I just dink cross court, and then I'll wait. If they bring me, sometimes I'll get that guy pinned. He might come back to neutral, My third one, he stays over there. He hits a weak one, and then I just flick it down the middle. Because this guy's basically staying neutral. This guy's staying neutral. Every time I hit it cross court, he'll move center. He'll move center. He'll move center. This guy stays. And when he doesn't move center, that's what opens that one. I don't do it with my left hand because it's too risky, because this guy's going to get it. The other shot would be, I'm setting up my dinks, cross court. I'm watching this guy move. So as long as he moves this way, then I'll go down the line. But that's risky because a lot of times they bait you. They will dare you to go down this line because they're waiting for this forehand to come back. So that's why I like this new roll, because look at how low that gets. I mean, even if they get it, it might not be attackable. That little hand flick, because you see the top pros, man, they have, a lot of the young pros are doing it, and I'm sure there's some of the older pros that are doing it, but it's hard to find footage of them anymore, because basically the tours kind of kicked them out. Not kicked them out, but just treated them like crap. You know, the guys who helped build the sport. So the more you can be tricky, the tricky players are what gets me. Because nowadays, people are doing, especially the guys, are doing the two-handed backhand, and it's super wristy. Where you've been told, hey, don't use your wrists, but the wrist works. So I have a two-handed backhand now because it's really effective. There's ones where you point it down and roll it. And then there's that new guy, Ignanovich, who has it, he has it cranked up and just flicks those wrists over. Better than that, obviously. But you get here, oh man, I mean, look at that. This whole team has shifted, and you put it back door like that. That's pretty wicked. That's pretty wicked. So I'm trying to learn all these shots. If they work for the young pros, it's gonna work for a senior pro, for sure. For sure. I think especially, they think they got me here, my back is turned, and they don't think I have anything. They shift over, and I put it back that way. Oh, there it was. That's pretty good. The dinking, this kind of thing is where you really would like to have a training partner, you know, because it's just one and done. At least it's something. So all the rest of these, I got one more outdoor ball. I really like this two-handed backhand now, but a lot of times I'm the one who's going down and rolling this way, but I think if I can cock it up and use some wrist, because I have it cocked up when I do my forehand dink, so it's there. The roll, I curl it. This one I have this way, and I roll it, and then if I develop this and just flip it, that's gonna be good too. Okay, one of my favorite shots is somebody dinks forward. Really, try not to dink forward. You are gonna get roasted. Somebody dinking forward, unless they're putting it uncomfortable and moving me back. If they hit me a dead dink, I really have a lot I can do with it. And that's one of my favorite, because I can see this person move neutral because they have to move over to cover that gap, because I could just turn it over. So they come over, and then I show this, and then I just roll it over. That's one of my favorites. I'm glitching. It's this wind. I mean, look at how good that is. Woo. Oh, my phone. It's still okay. Okay. You guys still want to watch this live stream, or should I turn it off and just keep practicing? What I like about practicing in the wind? Okay, so this bucket holds about 300 balls. I don't know if there's 300 in it. Some have cracked. There's probably not 300, but I don't know. But that's why it's Sparta, because it'll hold 300. But I haven't. Oh, that person just ate it. Oh, and they're back up swinging. So they must be okay. This sport is an orthopedic surgeon's dream come true. It's like paying their boat payments. They're getting extra Hawaiian vacations off of this sport. Because a lot of people, if it's an overhead, they go backwards, bonk, hit their head, blow a knee out. Overhead, you gotta turn. Okay, what do you think? I'm gonna look at the screen. Let's see, my wife texted. It's still working. So it's pretty windy, but I don't mind the wind because look at all these balls ready for me to pick up. So that's pretty cool. It makes it much easier. All right, so this is still hanging on. Maybe I'll leave this here for a while and I'll hit from that other side. But for now, I gotta hit at least one more bucket. At least one more bucket if I don't get blown out. So I'm just gonna be scooping. So if you wanna go get a drink or something, now would be the time. Now would be the time. For now, I'm gonna leave this down here. So if you learn how to drill on your own, you will always have a drill partner. Always have a drill partner. Man, somebody's like just ripping birch over there. So let me move over here. Maybe you can see some of my ball scooping techniques. So if anybody is in contact with like one of the higher level machines with a vertical wheel, and they want to sponsor some videos and let me use the machine, get them my information. You can contact me at Well, usually you can leave a comment in one of the videos and I can see it. Or pickleballmadeeasy@gmail.com. Pickleballmadeeasy@gmail.com. Because eventually that'll be my pickleball video, training video. Because my self-defense one is selfdefensemaderealeasy.com. Selfdefensemaderealeasy.com. Best self-defense system in the world. Fastest to learn and most effective self-defense system in the world. Without a doubt. I can say that 100%. 100% accurate. Selfdefensemaderealeasy.com. It's for the older person, the weaker person. It's not for the young, strong, macho thing. It's not for that. Okay. All right, let's set up the camera. The tournament. Did you guys hear that? I don't know if you heard it, because when I went away from the live stream, so basically Gordon Char won gold, and I read out his text, but I don't know when I click off the video part if you guys can hear me. I'll have to test that out. Okay. All right, what do we want to do? Let me do some serves. I'll go back to here that I started over there. I like that. Okay, so when I'm on this side, I want to serve from this middle area, and I want to hit it towards the farthest end of that court usually. That'll give me the most distance. And kind of hit a backhand. And then I'm ready for my forehand to come up and attack. Anything short, I'm gonna go get. Because I'm starting from here. If I start from here and they go here, I'm in trouble, right? Unless I have a great backhand, which I have an okay backhand. Not great. It's getting better. But look, I missed. It's getting better, but I wouldn't trust it trying to hit it on the run. So when I serve on odd court, I want to be middle. Middle to 1/3 left over here. 2/3 this way. When I serve from this side, these are good tips, man. Good tips for anybody who's lasted this long watching. Probably when I collected balls, they tuned out. But you can always fast forward. Especially, most people watch it not live, but they watch the recording. So there. So my partner's got forehand all up here. He's covering my backhand, and I got forehand all the way over here. Does that make sense? That's good teamwork. It's good for singles too. That went too far. There we go. I like this serve because it goes. I really don't ever see that. I sometimes see a topspin this way, but I don't see one going this way. Plus, this kind of sucks to the ground. I had a couple serves today where they flat out couldn't get to it because a lot of players, the smart players, actually start from way back here. But it was so penetrating and dipping and just sucked to the ground, and they couldn't even hit the return. Or if they do, it's weak, right? You can really tell the Franklin versus a Dura. I'd much rather hit a Dura. I like the harder ball. And I don't know what ball we're going to use in this combine. But all I need is like a day's notice. Just practice with it for a day or even a couple games and I'm acclimated to it. But it's harder to go from a Franklin to a Dura. So my advice, even though you're not asking it and you can tune out, you can reject it, that's your prerogative. But my advice is to always play with a Dura or an equivalent to a Dura, because you can always go down to a slower ball. But if you practice with a Franklin all the time, or even worse, like one of the other really rubbery balls, then go to a Dura, man, it's difficult to acclimate. Quickly. So always do a Dura. You know, whenever I go on a court, a lot of times people, if I play rec ball, they're playing with a Franklin, and I ask them if they will just play with a Dura, and they always say yes, you know. They always say yes. They know I'm training for something, and they're really helpful to try to help me train. A lot of these are going out. That's good. That's good. It's a pretty good serve. See if I can do inside out. So actually, I probably won't mess with that. I'll either do a lob or a hard one. But I got to be careful, because if I throw this real hard and fast and I don't set up, these people can rip it back. Pros, they're lasering it right back at you, trying to get you. So I have to serve and I have to get ready. Okay, what now? Let me do drops. Drops from here. So my normal drop is I drop there. Because when I'm on this side, I usually do a backhand drop in front of myself. And the reason is because I'm going to close that distance. I'm going to close this gap, and my partner should come up behind. A lot of times I'm the best player on the court. So if I put this drop in front of my partner and they don't close, and they only go up maybe halfway, they allow somebody to attack that dink, attack that drop. This is just a large dink. A drop is just a big dink. So if they don't go up and close that gap, it's a useless drop. So I'd rather put it in front of myself and close the distance myself and let this person lag and try to take up that gap. Because I trust my hands that I'll be able to shut down any attacks. So that's what if I could do this drop, this roll drop, oh my gosh, that is incredibly perfect. I felt that one was bad. Yeah. So this is a roll, right? This is a roll. But my normal drop is just a lift. Just a lift up in the neutral zone. See how it's even knuckleballs? There's hardly any spin at all. And then it just doesn't bounce high. people think, oh, you went that high and it's going to bounce too high. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's just kind of dead. And then if my partner is up in front of them, they're going to be able to block it. But if they suck at blocks, I mean, all pros are good at blocks. But if my rec ball partner sucks at blocks, that's where I drop in front of me. So I'll drop in front and I will, that's an indoor ball. So when you hit an indoor ball, it's a lot lighter. They don't fly as much, so you have to put a little more into it. So I'll drop in front of myself and I will close the distance and I will fight. I kind of give this away. I come up middle more, but typically my drops are all, I like the backhand. Why, you ask? Why? Because it's a shorter lever. It's a shorter lever. It's easier to control. Watch how big this lever is, my forehand. See how wide it is? See how long it is? Now look at, to make it a short lever, I gotta attach my elbow here. Okay? Which I do on my drop, but that would be super awkward, right? Super awkward. So that elbow comes out, detaches, now it's a long lever. But watch when I do backhand, watch where this elbow is. It's right there. Look at that short little lever. It's super easy to be consistent. Super easy to be, oops, edit, delete. Super easy to be consistent. Super easy to be consistent. So that's why I basically drop almost all the time with two-handed or one-handed backhand, and I almost always go there because I want you to see this angle. See how this angle naturally is pointed that way? So for me to go there is awkward, but on my forehand, it's naturally should go there, right? So my forehand dink drop should go over there. My backhand one should go there. Look at that. If I stuck a magnet on here with a spike, it's going to show where that ball should go. And don't fight it. Don't fight it unless, I mean, you got to be really good to change directions. But typically you just want to go where it naturally wants to go. This is super important in dinking also. This is what drives me crazy. This is what drives me crazy. Right, Vic? People who dink forward, right? Watch this. The ball's coming from here and you change directions. The paddle naturally just wants to go back that way. But you have to physically manipulate that paddle to make it go over here. Now, if you have a purpose, let's say this guy, the only time I go dink this way is so there's person A, person B, is A is stuck on that line there and really opens up this hole, really opens it up. Then I'll kind of dink forward. But otherwise, it just goes to where it naturally wants to go. Doesn't that make it more consistent? Right? And this way, look at how that paddle naturally wants to face. It doesn't naturally want to face this way. I have to manipulate it to make it go this way. That's why you see people can dink, 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 and then they try to do something different and they hit the net, right? And I'll go, why'd you change directions? Oh, I wanted to show something different. But why? When they're in this battle and they're not losing, if they're not losing this dink battle, they're either winning or neutral, just stay with it. But move the ball within that square. Move it to there. Move it to there, right? but you don't have to go here unless there's a reason. The reason is I get beat. Somebody beats me on a cross-court dink. Boom, I go right there. That's my bailout. If they can't earn it, it goes right here. This person is probably coming around. They got to move back. This person really doesn't go get it. So it's just for this person to move back. Boom, it gives me time to reset and my partner time to reset. That's called my bailout dink. Right there. All right, let's work on two-handed backhands. Let's start from back here and move our way up. Okay, the trick on this one is to have this paddle pointed down to the ground and close to you and roll it up, right? If it's out away from me, it just doesn't go well. And that's for me. I can't teach you what a tennis player would do. I never played tennis. I'm learning all this on my own through feel and watching top players. So this is a serious weapon. Okay, so I think when I start missing is I'm catching the ball too far behind me, and then I'm not catching it on an upswing. So this is how I learn, by hitting 1,000 balls a day. You can learn all this stuff just through trial and error. But to get there faster is take lessons. So I would definitely, if you want to learn like ground strokes, I would go to a tennis player, you know? Go to a tennis player that moved to pickleball and learn these ground strokes, two-handed backhands. I'd probably go to a female, actually. A female tennis player that has perfected this two-handed backhand. And then I would learn, but I don't feel they're great. A lot of them aren't great at the soft game. So then somebody like me, who's a soft game strategist, master, dink master, I would go to somebody like me for that strategy. So I'll do that. People will say, oh, I want to learn this ground stroke. I said, well, go see Mark Malott. He was a 5'0" or 6'0", 5'5" tennis player or something. He's another pro here that just teaches every once in a while. Not too often. But I'd rather them learn from them until, if I get this down, perfected, I might be a great resource because I've learned it from a pickleball perspective instead of tennis. So I might have a better insight. So I just figured out I've been playing since October 2015. That was my first tournament. And I started 30 days prior to my first tournament. My wife signed me up. I'm like, oh my gosh, if you're gonna sign me up for that bullshit sport, that old person sport, I better get good at it. And I was out twice a day, every day for 30 days, hitting 1,000 balls a day, and we won gold. But barely, you know. We were like getting killed by the older people, you know. They're all so good. I was super strong and scary looking. That was the best compliment I ever got. Took a lesson with Riley Newman and Lindsay Newman. And at the end, or part of it, she goes, you know, because you're really scary looking. She said that to me. I'm like, hey, I actually like that. Because I can hit hard, you know, hard overheads. And that time I was probably 225 pounds, wearing all black with my big self-defense logos on. So, but to me, she was the scary one, you know, because she could kick my ass as this 100, probably at the time, 160, but just awesome, you know. Okay, so what was I working on? Oh yeah, two-handed backhands. Man, that's wicked. Let me do, because drops there, I just lift it. I don't roll it because it's nice and safe. But I think if I got the right ball, I could roll it into that corner. But the more aggressive I get, the more aggressive that ball's coming back. So if you have a partner, so if you're driving and your partner sucks at resets, you are not helping your team. Because they aren't going to be able to reset that ball. I see that over and over and over and over again. They're like, why? I want to play like the Waters. They can hit hard. Why can't I hit hard? Why can't I be a banger? Because you suck at resets probably, and your partner sucks at resets. So I actually play pretty decent with a third shot ripper because I can reset well. But if they hit everything hard, then it's chaos ball. I call it chaos ball because there is no setups. It's all just crazy. So I'm gonna play pro singles. We'll see. I did sign up for pro singles before. They were paying like $3,000 to the winner or something. And there was only like 3 people signed up. So $3,000, $2,000, $1,000 for something in California. So I thought, oh, I'll go sign up and make $1,000. Get my ass kicked and get a bronze, because of course I hadn't played singles at the time. But then once, like about a week out, like 4 or 5 people signed up. So I backed out. I wimped out. But I think now, I've never played singles in a tournament. So my duper's like a 3.71. I don't even know how they get a number when I've never played it. And then in the US APA, I was a 5.0 singles forever because I was a 5.0 rated player. I'm like, I've never even played singles and I'm a 5.0. How do you go in, get slaughtered? But now I think I actually just want to see how well I would do. So the name of this game though is consistency. Get that ball over the gosh damn net. It drives me crazy. People hitting that net, man. You got no chance. I'd rather them float it up like that and get smashed, because sometimes they'll actually hit the net, or I can defend it, or they'll hit it out. Somehow, something got in my thumb. Oh well. But I want you to notice also, just even in my practice, how many times have I hit the net, really? 10? Less than 10? Less than 10 net shots? You know, and out of 250, 300 balls? I don't know how many balls are in here. It'll hold 300, but I don't think I have 300. So let's say, we'll just say 250. So out of 250 balls, how many times have I hit the net? I'd say less than 10. I've hit more out balls than I have net balls. Because I need that ball way back in the back. At the pro level, if you leave that mid-court, they are just ripping it. Okay, so all the rest are indoor balls. So it makes it a challenge. Let me just hit drops. Makes it a challenge because they're so light. But that's the good thing about playing indoors. With an outdoor surface, is you still get to use an outdoor ball. These indoor balls suck, even though my favorites are these Gamma Fuse maybe, because they play more like a Dura. Just solid, right? Good, consistent play. Boom. Okay, that's it. That's it for you guys. Maybe I'll do another bucket. I just got to be home by 4 for the KU game and cook some dinner for the wife. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks for being a part of my journey. It's day 13. Make sure you watch my playlist on my countdown to the combine. If you go to my channel, pickleballdiary.com, and go to playlists, it's the one that says daily training vlog for the National Pickleball League. Go check that out. Make sure you hit like on everything. That way I know people appreciate it, and then the YouTube algorithms do something and it gets seen by more people. Share it if you like it. Share it with people. And if you've learned something new, let me know in the comments. And I haven't replied to a lot of comments lately because I am busy. I mean, I'm working out 3 times a day, and then I'm downloading video, which takes forever. I'm watching through video. I'm editing for 3-4 hours sometimes. So that's ways, sometimes I don't get to your comments, but I will when I can. So I appreciate you guys. I really do. All right, and then I did a podcast. I was on a podcast yesterday. I was the one being interviewed because they're interested in my combine story. That was done by the Pickleball Librarian. And then, so go check out his channel, Pickleball Librarian, and when that podcast comes out, you guys will be the first to see it. Okay, I think it's on under Pickleball Podcast, you know, just general Pickleball Podcast. Okay, see you guys, thanks. Subscribe, hit that button right now. Hit that bell notification. That way you always know when I go live or post a video. Okay, see ya. Boop.